Good morning and happy hump day, folks. So, I actually need to give you guys what my low is from the get-go, because it's basically an apology for not having talked about what I'm going to talk about for the last 2 years. When I probably could have, but I'll explain why in a minute. My high was, I got to see, full stop, I was up at Cuke Lake for the most part by myself that whole weekend. So, it was nice spending time with my mom and dad again. I mean, I did see them on Sunday and Monday, sure. But, yeah, it was nice just visiting them and being with family. I also got myself some Ritas on the way back, which, okay, Ritas has Chocoberry Thin, Skittles, and Swedish Fish Italian Ice flavors. Get all three at once. You can thank me later. And my act of kindness was I took out the garbage for my parents. That's what I did. So, what is it that I haven't talked about in 2 years that, I apologize for? Well, if you look at the title of the YouTube video, or the Facebook video, if they're doing that, I haven't talked about America's Got Talent in over 2 years. I mean, once upon a time, I tuned in every week to talk about it, and it was a lot of fun. Of course, before we get into why, I should probably explain my history with America's Got Talent. Years ago, I liked it okay. I mean, I watched, bits and pieces of it, here and there, back when Nick Cannon was hosting, and then when Tyra Banks was hosting. And don't get me wrong, I saw a lot of really great. Some actually even look up, even now if I feel like it. And then it was 2019, early 2019, and they decided to come out with a new season in the wintertime, because normally they have AGT in the summer. In the wintertime, it was going to be called America's Got Talent, The Champions. Basically, they were going to take the best acts from not just America's Got Talent, but Britain's Got Talent, Australia's Got Talent, I guess, India's Got, basically acts from all over the world that are considered the very best of the best. And for the most part, they were either champions of the show, or they're like runners up. So they were literally going with the best of the best there. And while it interested me, I was still relatively on the fence about it. And then I heard the two words that made me change my mind. Terry Crews. I mean, listen, Terry Crews is just one of those people where whenever he's on, if it's something that's not very good, he makes it better. Of course, in this case, if he's on a good show, he makes it even more awesome. And I'm like, there's no way they got Terry Crews to be the host of America's Got Talent, The Champions. But I think he was on, I was watching interviews leading up to it. I think this interview might have been either on The View or it was on, Good Morning America. And Terry Crews was talking about how he was going to be the next host of America's Got Talent, or in this case, America's Got Talent, The Champions. And I'm like, okay, this is actually real. And then came that first night of Champions, and it's the camera zooming into where Hollywood is, and you hear Terry Crews' voiceover live from California. Oh, it's real, all right. And I mean, it's America's Got Talent, The Champions. You need the most powerful person you can get to host, and they don't get much better than Terry Crews. So needless to say, I was watching it from 2019 till the very last season that aired, which was, I believe they did something in early 2023, maybe? I could be wrong with that. So, why did I stop there? Well, there's a few reasons. The big reason is my grandmother had died. My grandmother on my mother's side, who lived out in Las Vegas, had died the Saturday before Memorial Day. In fact, I believe yesterday was 2 years since she passed. Crazy, right? And naturally, after she passed, we immediately had to go have her funeral out in Las Vegas. And while it was great flying out to Las Vegas, I wound up missing a lot of stuff. Specifically, I missed seeing the premiere of Across the Spider-Verse. I did eventually see it again. I missed the opening day of Watermelon Feta Salad that year, which it's actually coming out today. I'm excited for that. I'm gonna have it later. By the way, this is a PSA. If by 5:30 this evening I have not gotten the honor roll and gotten my Watermelon Feta Salad, someone send a search party, please. Thank you. And on top of that, I missed that first episode of America's Got Talent that summer. You're probably wondering how that worked. Well, we actually had the funeral on that Wednesday. Yeah, this is a very quick trip to Vegas. Like, we actually flew into Vegas on Tuesday night. Obviously, Tuesday is when America's Got Talent is on, and obviously, since I'm literally in the sky, no access to TV that I knew of, and that's why I missed it. Yeah, the funeral on Wednesday, literally went back on Thursday. So, yes, in those 3 days, I missed the premiere of America's Got Talent, Watermelon Feta Salad Day, and seeing Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I mean, eventually I would get to have those last two, but, I mean, to miss the first episode of America's Got Talent for the season, it killed the momentum that I had. Like, you're so gung-ho, and, like, you really want to do something, and you really, like, I'm going to do this, there's nothing that's going to get in my way, I'm going to get it done, let's do this, and then something happens where not only are you unable to do the thing you want to do, but it completely derails your drive. It sucks the life out of you, kind of, in a way. Not to say I'm bitter about that. I mean, listen, my grandmother died. I have even if I need a valid, not that I need one, but I have a valid excuse. Again, my grandmother died. And, yeah, I could have probably watched the next week's episode, but without the context of that first episode, I kind of just lost the desire to watch it. So, yeah, that's what happened. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Okay, that explains 2023. Why not 2024? Well, same thing. I mean, technically my grandmother on my father's side had died, but that's not why. It's just, when I said earlier that the year before killed the momentum, it still remained a year later. If you couldn't tell, I'm very hard on myself. And so, when I feel downtrodden, I really feel downtrodden. I mean, let's not beat around the bush. I do have depression. I've said this on camera before. I'm not ashamed of that. But, yeah, anything you've ever thought that's like Saturday of like FOMO or, the loss of desire, like, that's definitely me in a nutshell. I mean, that's not to say I can never build up my confidence again, don't get me wrong. But there really is something to be said about when you're actually able to do the thing you really want to do. And it's just awesome that when it's all said and done, you're like, huh, I actually did that. And I saw it through the end. And I really wanted to do that for America's Got Talent, but without that first episode, again, in 2023, I couldn't be able to do that. And I felt so miserable from it that a year later, I let it affect me again. So the question is, why now? Why am I watching America's Got Talent again? Well, there's a few reasons. The big one is, it's season 20. Think about this. I was 15 years old when the first season of America's Got Talent aired here in America. And so much has happened in those 20 years. I graduated through high school, I graduated through college. I ran 4 marathons, I did 400-mile bike rides for charity, graduated from Trinity Pauling, went to 3 Trinity Pauling reunions, 5, 10, 15. My brother got engaged, married, and has 3 kids now. Several members of my family have sadly passed away. Listen, they say in a moment everything can change. Imagine how much can happen in 20 years. But America's Got Talent really has been one of those consistent factors in not just my life, but I'm sure in the lives of a lot of people. And it works that way. So at this point, I owe it to myself. I'm like, you know what? Enough beating around the bush. I'm going to watch America's Got Talent season 20. And I did just that. Again, I got to see Terry Crews again. I got to see the judges. And I know I did a lot of praising for Terry Crews, but I love the judges too, sure. I love Howie. I love Simon. Let's be honest, Howie and Simon really have been the most consistent over these last 20 seasons. I know it didn't start off with the 4 judges we have now, but, since I at least started watching again, way back, even before in 2018, when I believe it was Tyra Banks' last season hosting, I remember seeing, Howie and Simon and Mel B and Heidi, which I'll get to the other 2 judges in a minute. But, yeah, Simon and Howie have always been there. So then there's the other 2 judges. So I believe it was in 2021, correct me if I'm wrong, or was it 2022, when Sofia Vergara was going to be a judge on America's Got Talent, who would then replace Mel B. Heidi, Simon, and Howie were going to be there still, but it was just going to be Sofia Vergara instead of Mel B. And this season, Heidi's gone, but Mel B is back. So now our 4 judges are Howie, Mel B, Sophia, and Simon. Which, listen, I love these people. I do. I couldn't say a negative thing about any of them if I tried. It is fun. It is kind of funny to watch when everything thinking that isn't that good, but then the crowd behind was and keep in mind, maybe this was Mel B's first day back. So obviously things had changed in the couple of years she was gone. But there were some acts where really were genuinely good and she didn't like them. The first act was genuinely was not very good. And I've actually seen this guy on the internet before, where he is known for chugging so many different things. He chugged pickle juice, hot dog water, creamed corn, and hot sauce. Listen, I can get down with, I never drank hot dog water, nor do I ever want to. Never had creamed corn. I do like hot sauce when I put it on stuff. And the only thing I would even say I've even remotely drank a sip of is pickle juice. But you wouldn't see me doing stuff like that. And there were a lot of really great performances last night. I mean, that, I forget the guy's name, but it was a singer with like, he was a dude with really, really, really long hair who got Howie's golden buzzer. That guy was good. Like, and like, he had Terry Crews hold the phone with his grandfather watching via like FaceTime. I mean, bro, that was, I mean, and here's the thing about this kid. Like, he got himself into trouble. Like, I think he said his mother was a police officer, his dad was a lawyer, so naturally he was a rebel. Or was it his mother was a lawyer, his dad was a police officer, and naturally he was a rebel. I forget what he said. But in a way, it does actually remind me of Ratatouille. Stay with me now. In Ego's like review in the letter he's talking about Gusteau's, he was saying not everyone can be a good cook, a great cook. Not anyone can be a great cook, but a great artist can come from anywhere. And that's what America's Got Talent really is all about. I mean, you've had people win from all over the world, and you'd never even know about these places unless they were on the show. So, for that reason alone, you know, I'm very thrilled it's lasted 20 seasons. And of course I'm going to watch it more. So, yeah. America's Got Talent's back. To Terry Crews, Howie Mandel, Simon Cowell, Mel B, Sofia Vergara. It was great to see you guys again. I can't wait for next week's episode for more auditions. Yeah, I think it's auditions. And yeah, see where it goes from there. Now, if you excuse me, I have to count down the minutes until I have my watermelon and touch of salad from Honor Roll again today. I'm so excited. I hope you like this video. Like, subscribe to YouTube, on social media. As always, I'm very happy this video for you guys watching the show today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. And remember, if you guys want to talk to us, we here to let me know what's back. Take care. Make good choices. 607 all day, baby.